Hello. Thank you for taking your time to join me on this episode. I want to go on with the spirit series, and in this time I'm talking about spiritual and psychic attacks. So as a human being, you have to understand yourself that you have several components of you. Aside from being a physical and spiritual being, you're also electric, you are magnetic, you are psychic, and you're also etheric, right? So just to focus a bit on your energetic side, you are like a power battery that when you're moving around, you are dissipating energy and you're also charging. And within your physical body, there are different power grids, all right? So to maintain you as a whole system, there are different power grids where energies are distributed through your body. And these are also points through which external influences of energy can enter us. In movies, you can watch the forensics teams. Wherever you go, you leave traces of your energy, whether it's pieces of your hair or saliva or your fingerprints. And so just like in forensics, it is the same way with your other components. Wherever you go, you leave traces of your energies and you pick energies. Depending on what you interact with, you can pick negative or positive energy, and you're also emitting energies wherever you go. And understanding how this entire system of energies operate can help you to protect yourself from psychic and spiritual influences. So just to give an example of how you leave traces of your energies, when you're cooking, you're not supposed to be stirring food when you have negative emotions or negative thoughts, simply because you're projecting the energies inside the food. And if you're cooking for your family or friends or anyone, someone who is sensitive can pick that energy. So it is very important to understand yourself from an energy perspective as a human being, because that enables you to protect yourself from external influences, which people sometimes direct at us. So energy, whether psychic or spiritual, can enter into our body through various parts. But before I can explain that, let me differentiate between psychic and spiritual attacks. In a spiritual attack, it directly affects your spirit and prevents your spiritual growth and development. Psychic attack is more direct and intuitive, and just like the word psychic, it affects your psyche, your psychology. And a psychic attack can be something as simple as someone thinking about you, and this energy is being directed by sight or by thought. This energy can reach you and will start making you feeling uncomfortable, all right? You start feeling anxieties and fears, and you can't explain why. And so it's more mental and intuition based. A psychic attack is more of a form of spiritual attack, in that it's a lower form of spiritual attack. If someone or an external influence is attacking your psyche, they are weakening you and opening portals for spiritual attack, because it's more like a physical attack, right? If someone attacks your physical body or you experience a disease, then just by weakening the physical body, your spiritual well-being also starts suffering. And so a psychic attack could be an entry point for a spiritual attack. To defend yourself from a psychic or spiritual attack, you need a strong will, and also you need to understand the entry points through which attacks happen. And so I want to start with the first energy entry point, which is the pineal gland, and it's located somewhere in your brain, somewhere behind your eyes. It's an entry point for a psychic attack. If a psychic energy is directed at you, at your aura, you're more likely to feel the discomfort, in that it's your intuition that is picking this thing. And depending on your physical or spiritual makeup, some people's thoughts are very powerful, in that when they think about you, or either in a positive or negative way, if you're a sensitive person, you'll start feeling uncomfortable and depression and so on and so forth. And sometimes simply just even by liking someone and thinking about them, you might find that their behavior towards you tends to change. Either they are more rejectful or they're more welcoming of you, simply because they're able to pick this energy that you're directing into their psyche or into their aura. And also, energy that is directed to your psyche can cause an imbalance, a spiritual imbalance, in that it creates confusion in your life. It takes away your clarity and awareness, all right? This is why it is very important to understand your spiritual makeup. We have different spiritual gifts. And if you find, for example, you have a sharp tongue that when you curse people or say negative words about something, then it tends to spoil for them, then you need to be careful with how you speak to others. And also, if you are this person who thinks negative things about other people and then they end up doing those things, it could mean that you are transferring negative energies that are influencing their life in a negative way. And so if you see these patterns, please just stop, because it might be a sign that your psychic energy is affecting others in a negative way, which is not a good thing. And the second entry point for energies that you should guard is your eyes. They say that the eyes is the windows to the soul, right? And literally, when you lock eye contact with people, some people are able to transfer negative energies through their eyes. That is, if you lock eye contact with them for long, and this will come to unsettle you. And also another way is by looking at traumatic things or watching negative things. We have negative media all over, right? You can take in energy through these things. And so if you're a sensitive person, avoid watching negative things, and also avoid long eye contacts with people that you don't know very well, because they can directly transmit negative energy through the eye-to-eye contact. But sometimes, looking into people's eyes, I have this tendency of looking into people's eyes because it helps to reveal the sort of energy that they are having inside them, or to reveal the type of person who they are. But if you are doing this, you need to be careful. You understand the techniques of locking yourself from these external energies being directed at you. Sometimes even for the eye, you can put an imaginary filter, or you can just put on things like spectacles or lenses, right? These are things that help to minimize energies that enter your eye when you lock in eye contact with people. And now moving down to the next portal, I've talked about this and the eye, and now to the heart, right? The heart majorly deals with two strong emotions, that is love and hatred. If you want to truly love people genuinely, you have to love them with the heart, not with the mind, because the mind changes. If you make up your mind that I'm going to like this person, you are not going to sustain it. But if you let your heart take in the message that you are loving this person, then it will be very sustainable to like this person. But the heart is also a gateway for negative energies. If you expose yourself to toxic people or negative relationships, or if you are wounded by a person, these things tend to store energy in the heart, and so you tend to develop things like resentment, all right, towards some type of people. You also develop fear and hatred. If you don't take the time to heal yourself from these things, they will stagnate you spiritually for the good part of your life. And also sometimes people's envy and resentment and hatred towards us, we can feel it with the heart. The heart itself has an intelligence, and so this is why you can get to some environments and instantly your heart starts beating. Intuitively, your mind has sensed a sort of danger in this environment, and this will often happen in combination with the psyche, because like I've said, the psyche is good at picking intuition, and the heart too is good at picking intuition. And the heart tends to work hand in hand with the navel, which is the fourth energy entry point that I'm getting into. The navel is the region around your belly button. Whenever you're feeling anxiety, you will feel your heart beating, and also you'll feel discomfort in the navel area. The navel area is mostly associated with balance. If you encounter anything that challenges the sense of who you are as a person, either physically, spiritually, or emotionally, you will feel anxiety in your navel area, and so it deals mainly with imbalances. This is why people who assert some form of authority over us, whenever you see them, you feel some sort of anxiety here, and maybe a loss of self-confidence. And people who are controlling, for example, toxic people, the ones we call narcissistic, they first challenge your sense of being, for example, by using negative words or using demeaning statements, or by using violence as a way of asserting authority. And this fear affects the navel area. And once they take control of this energy point, they're able to control you and manipulate you without you ever noticing. This is why you see some people, they are in very toxic relationships, but you can't get them out because they have lost a sense of who they are. And so if you encounter anyone that is manipulative, as soon as you see the signs, it's better for you to get off, because as soon as they manage to enter into your world and their manipulative tactics become successful, you won't even recognize who you are. You won't have a sense of direction in your life. And another entry portal for energies is the palm of the hand, right here, all right here. We use our hands for different things. We shake hands with people using our hands, and some form of energy exchange happens there. We give and take things using our hands, and even by touching things, you can pick energies by touching things. And so by shaking hands, you're opening yourself up to energies. Sometimes it's only one person that you want to exchange energies with, that is shake hands, but there are several other people around them, and so you cannot avoid touching these other people, and you don't know who they are or what sorts of energy that they are holding, and so you must be careful and lock your energies to yourself. That is, go with the intention of only greeting and shut off your mind, shut off your senses, shut off your thoughts, because when you're loose and submissive while greeting, that is how energy transfer happen between us and people. Now, when we pick energies from people and they get into us, and once it's inside your body, your mind will interpret it into an emotion, either a negative emotion, and eventually it becomes a story. If this person had negative intentions, for example, hatred or envy, or even lust, the mind will interpret the energy and create a story that is related to this negative energy. That is how they interpret the energies that are directed to us, in that the mind just picks the signals and then tries to make the most logical story depending on the energy. And another important energy entry point that I want to touch on is the groin area. All right, it's called the sacral region. This deals with sexual energy, and sexual energy is one of the most powerful energies that drive us, all right, the instincts to procreate and so forth. And anything that causes imbalance in sexual energy, of course, will bring in, first of all, intrusive thoughts. And sometimes when this energy is stirred up, we tend to forget ourselves a lot. We tend to do stupid things. And so it is very important to protect yourself from influences that stir your sexual urges, that is either through the eye or through the imagination. And so as a way to protect arousal, it is very important to always keep your legs locked, whether you are sitting. All right, as men, sometimes we tend to sit with our legs open, sometimes even facing each other, right? This not only opens a door for arousal, it is a portal for transfer of sexual energies. And even while you sleep, if you don't want to succumb to the sexual dreams, as a man, you need to sleep with your legs locked. All right, I'm intending to do a video about how to protect yourself from sexual dreams. So when you're sleeping, you lock your legs and also you lock your hands, because as you sleep, not only just the legs, but also the hands and the mind are gateways through which arousal happen in the night, and you end up experiencing a sexual dream. There are many energy points, including at the sole of your feet, right? You're not supposed to walk over strange things on the road, because it is very common for people with black magic, for example, to put stuff on the road, and then when you walk over them, you tend to pick that vibration and succumb to some form of illness or mental confusion. Anyway, that is it for now. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Give me your opinions about what you think about the video. And because I currently don't yet have a social media account, which I'm thinking of opening, feel free to send me an email. You can use the email for this channel. Cheers and have a great time.